So there's been a hurricane warning. Hi everyone, and welcome to another adventure. These are memories from Florida. My content has been a little bit backed up lately, but I finally have access to all of my footage, so I'm happy that I get to be here and finally share it all with you so you can see all of the adventures that I went on as I spent my winter in Florida and the things that I did on a day-to-day basis. So here are some memories of what I'm calling a hurricane adventure, because there was a hurricane in Florida and it was my first time experiencing anything like it. I bought a plant because I went to the farmer's market with Mora, and I just wanted to show you guys because I love it so much. So this is the plant that I bought. It's so gorgeous. I love it so much. And I already have a little home for it. This is where my water jugs used to be, but I found that with the way I've been living, I don't need to carry my own water right now, so I would free up the space so I could use it for other things until I need it for water again. But yeah, I wanted to show you my little plant. It's super adorable. I'm so pleased with it. So in my last video I had mentioned that I'd bought art supplies, and I wanted to speak a little bit about painting in the back of an SUV. The more time that I spent in this vehicle, the more that I fell in love with being in this vehicle. I went to bed every single night laying on this SUV floor that I had built with nothing but gratitude for where I was. Like, I wouldn't have chosen to sleep anywhere else. I was so comfortable and so content. And even though I had these pads that I had cut myself from memory foam, it's like sitting under me and moving and like not being a complete bed, I loved it. I loved falling asleep in that SUV every single night. And I loved being able to have a space that was mine, and regardless of how small it was, it never felt too small for me. So there's been a storm warning, which potentially could be a hurricane warning, but we'll see what happens. I'm not necessarily worried about it. I'm just doing some work right now with some hot cocoa, cozy Florida night, and enjoying my time like I always do. So there's been a hurricane warning, and the weather the past few days has been getting increasingly worse as expected. It's mostly been windy with little spurts of rain, but the hurricane itself isn't supposed to be here until around tomorrow. Well, today and tomorrow. So, we're just experiencing a lot of wind, mostly. And, like I said, it's getting worse and worse. I've never experienced a hurricane. I've spent my entire life living in Vermont, where nothing ever happens. I'm not going to feed fear into it, because it's going to happen whether I'm scared or not. So I might as well use this time in Florida where the sky is dark to make it cozy for myself and to enjoy what I can while it's happening. So if we have to evacuate, we will do so. We're trying to not do that. We don't want to evacuate. But if it comes down to it, we will. And we will leave Melbourne to go somewhere where it's safer. Eventually we'll return to Melbourne if we do have to evacuate. We don't know what that's going to look like if we do, but we're going to try to ride out the storm, I'm pretty sure. We want to not have to leave. I don't want to leave, but if it comes down to it, we will leave. If it becomes unsafe for us to be here, we will leave. So, because where we are in Melbourne, it's very close to water on both sides. You know, we have the ocean on one side and we have the river on the other. So we're surrounded by bodies of water. I just woke up and it's really windy. The book that you see me reading here is a book called The Bird Way by Jennifer Ackerman. And it was a very fascinating book. I really liked a lot of the content that was in the book, but I actually didn't end up finishing the book because towards the end there was some rather graphic content and descriptions of some of the behaviors of these birds, but other than that, I really enjoyed this book, and it is on my recommend list. So we're leaving until the hurricane passes because it's gonna get slightly violent and the noise in the RV would be really intense. So we're leaving to spend a night at a friend of Keith and Maura's, and that should be fun. So yeah, that's what we're headed out to do. We are leaving knowing that we'll probably sleep better if we do. So that's the plan.